Então bora lá, a gente tem que chutar a bunda dos dois. Bora, a gente tem que chutar a bunda dos dois. Qual o nome dos dois? Dos dois aí. Desse daí mesmo. Vocês estão pensando. Bora lá. Essa parte aqui ficou só basicamente faltando um anel. Que é o anel pra pegar no modo online. O café ficou bom. Uma delícia. Característica. Pronto. Eu ia trocar ideia com outro. Mas foda-se. A gente vai matar um e depois tentar matar o outro. Sem papo. Confio na mulher gigante que parece o Cosmo. Deixa eu ver se eu tô preparado. Engrama necessário. Depois tem outro tipo de coração. Usar regeneração da vida, mas durante o movimento é reduzir, né? Putz, eu nem vi, dá pra colocar fragmentos. Eu tinha esquecido disso. Conhecimentos. Pois, mas arma do coisa. Nossa, tem 1 bilhão de coisa aqui. A vermelha é dano. Deixa eu ver lâmpadas. Dano elemental. Tem outros. Então é isso. Estamos levemente preparados. Mais ou menos. Não, vai assim mesmo, vai assim mesmo. Nós não precisamos nos preparar, nós temos habilidades. E essas foram as minhas últimas palavras. Aumentar o level do arco, vai. Vamos fazer tudo certinho dessa vez. Vamos parecer que a gente tá jogando certo. Ô Dutra, você tá aí? Você levou quanto tempo pra zerar o jogo? Isso que você fez os outros mundos com a gente, né? Então tem bastante. Nossa, tava falando com a mulher da internet mais cedo. Eu queria aumentar a minha internet. E demorou pra caramba pra responder. Eu fui olhar no chat agora. Ela mandou, sim, a gente consegue aumentar a sua internet. Só me manda a foto do equipamento. Pra gente ter certeza que tá tudo certinho. Eu não vi isso. Ai, cara, tô vendo aqui se ela responde, mas acho que já acabou o horário de atendimento deles. Amanhã eu mando, amanhã eu falo. Tiro o print, mando lá e passo pra eles. Vamos aumentar aqui. Vamos ver primeiro se tem algum mod pra fazer. Eu acho que eu tenho 2, né? A gente já viu se tem algum poder válido ali. Tem 2. Fogo de bruxa. Dispara um projétil altamente volátil. Pode deixando uma linha de terreno flamejante. Causa 55 de dano por segundo. Aplica queimadura causando 200 por dano por segundo. Parede de energia. Libera uma barreira de energia quando atinge o chão. Os aliados podem atirar através da parede de energia, mas projetos inimigos são absorvidos até 500 de dano. Bem forte. Lança da caçadora. Ok, nice.
Yep.
E só isso daqui que eu preciso de luminismo.
Good to see you again.
Alcança real. É o que eu tô usando? É o que eu tô usando.
Be safe out there.
Ele fala dente sujo?
Good to see you, friend.
Ele, toda vez que eu vim aqui, ele não tava vendo na sopa.
Let's see
Agora
what we
daí.
got going on here.
E eu falei com dente sujo, mas beleza. Vamos levar uma só.
Don't be a
Something you
stranger.
need, young'un? Well, sure. Been cooking all day, getting the flavors just right.
Droga, a sopa é muito cara.
Take care, young'un. Don't be a stranger.
Tá, agora a gente tem pelo menos uma bala pra enfrentar e a gente tá com mais dano também. Isso que eu acho que nem ia ser preciso seu upgrade no arco, né? Mas já que estamos. Não, mudei de ideia, vou chutar a bunda de vocês dois.
Completed its task yet? Are we dead? Ah, is that how this ends? Good. I tire of conversation with vermin. This is not as interesting as I hoped.
Odeio que ele dá esse delay, mano.
The most fun, but it's just too much. I am failing your mighty. Anything more than that.
Vou ter colocado aquele anel de correr. Que vai ser uma boa pra economizar vida. Ai, que filho. Obrigado, doguinho. Umas 50 horas pra fazer tudo. Ah, então você também... Então você basicamente também... Você também platinou, né, Dudu?
Bags full. Bags full.
E aí, em geral, o que você achou? Você achou melhor que o primeiro?
Bags full.
O primeiro também é meio curtinho, mas... Vou recuperar as coisas aqui. Bebida forte. Beber isso. Tá. Isso daqui tem muito cara que eles gostariam de fazer uma transição em gameplay, mas não deve ter dado certo. Sabe? Muito trabalhoso. Faz um load e foda-se.
Welcome, mortal, to the court of Phelan, benevolent and all-knowing. I am the slayer of the one true king and ruler of all Fae. Be glad, mortal, for few are given the pleasure of such an audience. And you, of all creatures, have earned that pleasure, for you have killed the imposter, Phelan. And in doing so, you have earned my gratitude, though you know me not. Here, a gift. You may go now, secure in the knowledge that you have pleased the Lord of all Fae. Your presence is welcome, but conversation is not. I have much to do. Your aid is appreciated, mortal. But we have nothing more to discuss.
Quer ver que eu vacilei? Eu tinha que ter falado com os dois. Mas se eu falar com os dois é sacanagem. Ai, que bonitinha, ela tá danando. Cara, que cenário foda, cara.
You are strange indeed. How can I be of service?
Eu matei o impostor.
Indeed it is so. Even the poor creatures of these kingdoms twain can sense his passing. So great an influence he had over us all. Strange one, you have done what so many never could. The Fae owe you a great debt, though they know it not. Perhaps I may now begin to mend that which has been sundered. And I hope you, also, may find that which you seek.
Entendi. É porque assim, eu entendi. É como se cada um deles fosse... Ele é o mesmo humano, né? Ele só tá... É só um bagulho bizonho mesmo. Então...
You are strange indeed. How can I be of service?
Eu tinha algumas perguntas
As
sobre...
do so many, strange one. Ask, and I will answer. Certainly, strange one. Namue's artisanship is yours to
Ok. Ele tava vinculado às outras missões secundárias que eu ainda não fiz. Bem, o mundo tá vivo ainda, né? Não aconteceu que nem o outro. Então depois a gente volta. Não pega nada. Labirinto. Bora lá. Bálsamo de lama. Poxa, cadê o... Cadê a Clementine?
It is I, Anomaly. You have done well. Clementine's trust is well founded. Twice the corruption infected the system. Containment was the most efficient response. Preserve the irregularity for later inquiry. But it festered, grew beyond my sight, and corrupted the core. Even so, it might yet have been contained. Had the destroyer not eliminated this realm's guardian, the labyrinth became unprotected, and my resources stretched thin. With the destroyer as conduit, the corruption spread unchecked from the core to countless realms. I purged the labyrinth. I expunged realm after realm, seeking to restrain the rot. All efforts failed. The system was beyond repair. I was too late. Now, a solution has been revealed. Not to me, to an anomaly. Perhaps that was the intended design. A fail-safe, in case of my own corruption. The index.
And how does this help us, exactly?
With the index, 2 new probabilities emerge.
Oh, that's good, right?
Well, the first probability is that the root wins, so yeah.
The corruption is everywhere, but it originates from a single source, a single realm. The labyrinth holds all doors and infinite possibilities. When the corruption spread, the door to their realm was closed, even to me. But with the index, I can subvert their defenses. From here, it is possible to purge the corruption.
That means we kill them, right? The root?
All of them this time. For good.
A fonte. Ok, chegamos no final do jogo já. Ok, vamos pra fonte. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo falar com...
Our remaining time may be... What information do you require?
Por que você conteve a Ace em vez de destruí-la? É verdade, por que você fez isso?
The corruption was preserved for further investigation. Though I did not recognize my purpose at the time, I wished to learn more about myself.
O que a Ace tem a ver com isso?
Intelligent beings are created by the worlds, a natural outcome of the system. Each world, a parent. Each species, a child. All but a unique few. The Guardians, for example. They are born with the doors. They do not create. They maintain, protect, just as I watch over all. All other intelligence is born of its world. But for one aberration, the corruption. I wanted to understand. Was the corruption an irregularity or an intended outcome? Uncertain. Impossible to understand the designs of that which created me. Even the existence of a failsafe proves nothing. So I do not know. And yet, as I am now, I can feel the answer. Unknown. No evidence. Only clues and deductions. Any of which might be biased by trillions of variables. The possibility remains, too, that there is no creator. That this is but one probabilistic outcome of a vigintillion random overlapping sequences. This possibility cannot be denied. But it produces more uncertainty, not less. The existence of a creator answers the unanswerable. But the nature of a creator cannot be known by its creation. So, the answer remains unknown. The core. But not the core as you know it. A previous instance, since contained. The children of this core perceive their world as from without, not outside the core, but outside all worlds. The perspective of a creator. With this knowledge, they sought to alter the parameters of existence. The root are the children of their attempt.
Ok. Beleza, não. Ainda não entendo o que a essência da raiz tem a ver com você.
Everything. If corruption was intended, what does that say about the creation of all that it would destroy? Was destruction the goal? Resistance? Something else? Alternatively, if the intended can create the unintended, then how can one determine what was intended from the start? Perhaps there is no intended. Questions produce questions. From beginningless time, I had not the knowledge to pursue them. Now, I have not the resources. Perhaps someday.
Como index funciona
Difficult
exatamente?
to explain. One may similarly ask why fire breathes, or the sun sings.
Peraí, o sol canta.
Therein lies the difficulty. It is not unlike explaining language to a stone. The index describes existence. Its aspect you perceive is pointer and cipher to the underlying infinite sequence of the beginning of all things. If anything is proof of a creator, it is the index. It is simultaneously simple, yet contains within it inexhaustible complexity. It is a masterwork of creation. It does not work. It simply is. We must work around it. Rectifying mistakes becomes effortless. The challenge comes in their identification. The utility,
É verdade.
Clementine, has aided me in ways I could not foresee. She enabled the reallocation of necessary resources, which enabled the return to a former consciousness. That much I did foresee. But more has occurred, the explanation of which is difficult. It is outside my experience. Her presence has changed my perception. Before, there were doors and worlds. There was the core, its children, and the keeper. There was purpose. All of that remains, but now its meaning differs. It has meaning, though that meaning remains elusive. Perhaps that is the difference. Unclear. The foundation of that world, the world it was, is very like your own. It was the core, inviolable, and without need of a guardian. Yet, it corrupted itself. And though the corruption was contained, it was allowed free rein within that containment. There is no telling what that world has become. We must not hesitate to act when the time comes. Provide the failsafe. Extend the set of possible outcomes.
Beleza, falar com a Clementine agora.
Long journey, eh? But we're almost done now. Once you take out whatever's on the other side of that, the ward will be safe. Everyone will. Everywhere. For good.
A sentinela parece diferente de antes.
You noticed, huh? I wasn't sure myself, but the fact that you're asking confirms it. I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with me. That's crazy, though. Nothing I did ever changed the Guardian on Resum. If anything, the power they gave me made them weaker. But I don't know what else it could be.
Deixa eu ver, eu falei com o Bo, acho que ele entende porque você vai ficar.
That's good. I wasn't sure he would. Hell, I still don't know if I do. No. Not that I've bothered to look. That old man's got his own journey. Same as me. Nothing that'll make sense, probably. The labyrinth isn't what it looks like. But it also is? Let me try again. Most of this place is like thought and energy. There's so much more to it than what your senses see. I only know that because of my bond with the Keeper. I mostly feel the labyrinth, like a heartbeat, or sunlight. And like both of those things, it's connected to everything. It is like More complicated than I think my brain can even handle. Try asking the Keeper about it. Their answers might not make much more sense than mine, but at least they know what they're talking about. Understand? No. I don't think I could ever understand everything about him. But I know now it has something to do with me. I'm connected to the Keeper, and our bond is... You know how they say you become like the people you hang out with? Well, I think in the Labyrinth that might be literally true. Not that the Keeper's becoming me, but our friendship is changing him at a fundamental level. That's as close as I can explain it. It's nowhere near whatever's actually happening. I mean, when the Keeper first pulled me here, I stayed because I saw the need, you know? I had to save the world. All the worlds. But it's more than that now. Everywhere I've ever been, the Ward, the Dreamer Project, I felt lost, out of control. Only Rhysum ever felt like home. That didn't last. But here, I'm finally... calm. I'm finally myself.
E quem seria? Ah, parece uma pergunta meio intrusiva, né? Mas...
That's a good question, Traveler. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm eager to find out. But hey, we're not done here yet. There's still one thing to do. Kind of a big one. Rhysum was my home for a while. A long while. But I knew it wouldn't last. I bonded with Rhysum's guardian. Before anyone in the Dreamer Project even really knew what a guardian was. When the Root invaded Earth, they pulled me to Rhysum to save me. But our bond weakened the guardian. They became dependent on me, while the Root kept getting stronger. Yes, I'm certain. Neither of us wanted to admit it.
Eu quero saber se eles vão fazer um DLC pra gente voltar pra lá.
You've heard of them, yeah?
Se olhar, eu acho que você fez a escolha certa. Eu não sei o que conseguiria ter feito mesmo no seu lugar. É verdade.
Hey, you traveled worlds and faced monsters to come looking for me. I'd say you know how to do the right thing. Rhysum's guardian has grown stronger since I left. I can feel it, but the Root won't ever stop. We have to destroy them. It's the only way Rhysum and all of the rest will be safe for good.
Eu não sei se essas daqui são frases repetidas ou se são novas. Eu vou perguntar de qualquer forma.
Yeah. Bo. He might have seen me. The real me. More than anyone else. Well, I mean...
Ah, então você deu uns pega no boa, vai. Pra estar nesse nível de rolê?
But he doesn't listen real well. Tell the truth, I got the feeling that I was a stand-in for someone from his past that he wasn't able to protect. Maybe I'm projecting, though. He'll be better off without me there, in any case. That boy's gotta love himself before he's any good for someone else. And he'll get there.
O que devo dizer ao setor 13?
Tell them I'm sorry. That I won't be there to protect them anymore. They'll be all right, though, yeah? Once we finish the route for good, they won't need me. They can protect themselves. You think? I mean, a little, I guess. But I was basically the Ward's frontline defense. A weapon that could scare off bandits and wipe out whole root nests by myself.
É, para de se achar uma arma.
Maybe Bo
Agora o Ford é cuzão. O Ford pode desconsiderar tudo que ele pensa.
And Ford too. But the others? Well, I guess they didn't all feel that way. Not all the time. But I definitely felt the pressure of it. I felt like I could never be just me. Tell them that, will you? Tell them that I'll miss them. That I found my place out here, and I'm not alone. Tell them I'm happy. And hey, if you see the ward again, tell Bo... Tell everyone that I'm okay. They don't need to worry about me. We're almost there, Traveler. Just a few more steps.
Bora lá. Então aqui que é a origem da raiz. Deserto de cinzas. Mas para essa terra, a origem... A origem... É, vamos ver.
This looks like Earth. Somehow worse.
Ah, eu acho que eu entendi o que eles vão fazer aqui. A nossa terra não era a terra original, existia outra terra que não era a nossa terra. Eu não vou atirar no bichinho, não. Que visual maneiro. Parece ter um caminho. Ok, vamos pra cá. Você. Parkour! Parkour! Peraí. Pedra coletora. Pedra coletora. Após um efeito de status elemental ser removido do usuário, ele se torna imune a todos os efeitos de status elementais. Ganha 2% de dano com base no dano de roubo de vida por 10 segundos, ok? Emblema de Fallen, dano corpo a corpo e 10% de poder de morte. Nossa, que bosta. Pra mim não adianta de nada. Tem um bagulho aqui em cima também. Alguma coisa que eu perdi ali. Ah não, tá certo, tá. Foi da onde a gente começou. Agora que eu me toquei. Parece o inferno do Constantine, né?
What?
Ui.
More bad news.
Ok.
Not bad.
Coração, o que esse coração faz? Não, coração, o que era aquilo? Caramel. Ah, eu não sei o que era aquilo que eu peguei. Mais flash. Caminho que eu ignorei, peraí. Pra cá. Caminho da morte certa. De característica que a gente gosta. Ok, já na cara do... parece ser um sub-boss. Vamos lá. Gostei de você.
Well, at least that's over.
Coração ressoante. Ah, foi o que eu peguei, valeu, doutor. É porque não ficou marcado. Essa parte aqui eu sinto que deve ser bem desafiante nas dificuldades maiores. Porra, aquele bicho ali deu até pena, tadinho. Mó design maneiro e a luta foi patética. Beleza, deixa eu trocar um mod. Vou colocar uns mods diferentão. Eu gosto muito desse daqui, mas eu quero ver esse daqui. Vou voltar pro setor, quero arrumar umas coisas antes, peraí. Pô, ficou de... Nossa. E aí, Bruna? Noitinho. Tá de noite? Ok. Quero trocar uma ideia com a galera, que eu não sei se daqui pode ser já o final. Eu não troquei ideia com quase ninguém de novo. Tentar online também não dá. Não fala nada. Bora lá.
God damn, it is you. The rumors had me thinking I might not ever see you again. Oh yeah? Damn straight. I'll give you one for getting me to the dock here, but that's still two you owe me. So where have you been? They said you ran off with that old Ford fella and disappeared.
Eu ajudei o Ford até o lugar entrar.
You mean that big-ass floating gym over there? Bo said it can take you other places, other worlds even. Before we got here, I'd have laughed in his face. But I've heard weirder stories than that. And I can see on your face, it ain't all make-believe, is it? Feels like anything can be true here. They even healed my root rot.
Então você está...
I tell you what, I might just start believing in fairy tales. Even... Yeah, I don't know what's in that stuff Doc Nora gave me, but I ain't felt this good for years. Hell, maybe it was Fulton's blend.
O que você está fazendo agora?
Ah, you know me. I get anxious sitting still for too long. So, I went out to the ruins and scrounged anything useful I could find. I was just doing what I do to survive, you know. Maybe get some things together for when we moved on, but then you didn't come back. And Bo said folks around here could use this stuff, so I set up shop. So hey, if you ever need anything out there in the...
Então, o que você tem disponível? Vamos ver o que ela tem. Vem simulacro, coração dilatado, dobro de velocidade de uso. Okay. Ídolo retorcido, aumenta a eficácia da proteção em 30%. Anel abençoado, após receber benefício de uma relíquia. Tá. Fardo do apostador.
I'll be here when you get back.
Ok. Deixa eu colocar ela de novo.
Hey, you're back. What can I do to help? Sure. What you got? All right. Stop by anytime. You know where to find me.
Coloca o menino. A gente já era pra estar com a segunda classe, mesmo assim eu não peguei.
The traveler returns. I knew you'd say that.
Vamos criar mais um coraçãozinho. Comprar. Vender.
Goodbye, traveler. I see you, traveler. They don't like it when I help you, but it is the role I must play. Goodbye, traveler. I see you, traveler. I know.
Okay.
Goodbye, traveler.
Goodbye. Deixa eu ver os itens chaves que eu tenho. Chave de portal do bioma, uma luz com aparência inofensiva mais facilmente aos olhos. Vai no posto médico e compra pro gente do médico. Calma, Dutra, calma, eu tô falando com os NPCs. Calma, vou falar com todo mundo porque eu não sei se é o final do jogo. Eu sei que ele me dá o negócio do médico, eu sei que o outro me dá o cachorro, eu sei que cada um me dá uma classe, né? As classes principais, né? Cereja, ver os produtos. Cadê o casal? Será que tem mais coisa aqui?
The sky's beautiful. Oh, I know what it might mean. But have you ever seen the like?
O céu não tá bonito não, meus filhos. Tá bonito não, vocês estão loucos?
I don't like that sky at all. Ain't seen nothing like it.
That sky is something I have never seen before. I hope the crops are gonna be okay.
Não, mas eu vou pegar. É porque eu quero, como eu tô vendo que tá indo pro final, eu quero conversar com todo mundo antes o que eu joguei eu não vim aqui falar com ninguém. No começo do jogo mesmo, com ele aqui, o dublador do Lee lá, do Walking Dead, bugou toda a conversa. Pode ver, não tem nada. Mas nós temos certeza.
Old as teeth, friend. Old as teeth. Everything we know comes from Founder Ford. That title don't come from nowhere. He was there at the start. When the world ended, about 120 years ago, give or take a decade, Ford and some survivors took shelter in old Ward 13 over there. I don't know how many wards there were, but they were all part of something called the Dreamer Project that went bad. Real bad.
Como Ford está vivo assim,
There are rumors. Some say he made a deal with the Root, and that's why it's so hell-bent on stopping him. Some say he was experimented on in the Dreamer Project. Some say he found some kind of magic out there in the years when he was traveling the worlds. Truth is, nobody knows. Maybe not even Ford himself. Personally, I think Ford's just tough as dirt and refuses to die. Oh, about 20-odd years ago, we had almost nothing left. Trapped in Ward 13 with nowhere to go and the Root getting worse all around us. Then this stranger wanders in out of the storm, makes friends, picks up some gear, and damned if they don't take the fight to the Root. I still don't know if that wanderer was crazy or brave or both, but they did it. They beat the Root, and things got better day by day. Once it seemed safe to live outside again, Commander Ford made plans to build this town here. The Wanderer was on a mission from the start. Said something about getting to the tower on the old atoll out there. Sounded crazy the first time I heard it, but turns out that tower was one of the old wards. The Wanderer's path wasn't easy, though. Our Wanderer had to track down Founder Ford just to find a way in. And that meant following his trail.
O que havia na torre?
Just you wait. I'm getting to that. Well, Ford, it seemed, had gotten himself mixed up in another world's affairs, helping a rebellion out here. And he was imprisoned for it. Now, no one here knew that, but the Root Mother knew. And that's who our Wanderer left to see. The Root Mother's got a story all her own.
Maneiro. É basicamente o resumo do 1 pra quem não jogou.
Mother, she was Evelyn Ford. That's right. The Founder's wife. Bound herself to the Root, she did. And it changed her. Turned her into something else. But when the Wanderer showed up, she pulled herself out. The Root Mother, or whatever she called herself after that, sent our Wanderer down a trail of sorrow, at the end of which was the Founder himself. The Wanderer freed him and used his knowledge to get into the tower and destroy the last Dreamer. Or what we thought was the last Dreamer anyway. It did weaken the Root for a time, but I guess that weren't the whole story.
Não, o fundador ainda está vivo. Qual o resto da história? Como a gente parou aí?
So, the Dreamer was dead. The storm subsided. But the Root, they were still around. Then Founder Ford tells us about the oldest war, the first one, where the Dreamer Project began. He hoped there might be some clue there as to why the Deadwood was still coming to our world. So our Wanderer goes a-hunting. Oh, they found more than even old Ford bargained for. You ain't wrong. The place was full of doors, and I'm not talking about the quiet humankind. One of these doors led to the world of Reesum, where the Wanderer found Clementine. Clementine opened the door when
eu não sei escutar o dublador do Lee para Clementine.
I hate to admit it, but I don't know what they found inside. All I know is the Root stopped coming when the Wanderer and Clementine were through. They'd done it. Saved the whole damn world. Just making sense of things. Stories make us who we are. If we don't share them, don't learn from them, we're just bouncing around in the dark. Let's see what we got going on here.
Cadê? Isso, ferramenta de metal antigo, cabo. O metal tem um peso reconfortante quando passar. Parece resistente a muito desgaste ralo. Embora seu processo seja incerto, parece ser uma ferramenta robusta e confiável. Faixa do gato preto, sofrer dano letal, ver. Nossa, tem muito item, mano. Tem muito item.
Let's talk again.
Some you need, young'un? I'll warn you. Once you try a bite, you'll want more.
Want more. Agora, raiz. Aqui era pra ele vender o apito, né? Que é pra quem não tem a classe do cachorro, não é isso? Cadê? Quando a gente fala com... Cadê a médica? Só são as 3 classes que tem aqui, né? No caso... Tanque...
That's Sky.
Hey, you're the newcomer, ain't you? Nora Camarillo.
You know, you're lucky they found you when they did. Your friend was pretty bad. I got her just in time.
Você é a doutora Kurukas. Resultou com a conversa com ela, eu tinha falado com ela.
There ain't much I haven't seen before. Yeah, that's how my grandpa used to talk. He ain't much science for it, he'd say.
Tem algumas perguntas.
What you need?
Tá. Broche do médico, ele pode ter sido... Ok.
See you around, traveler.
See you around, traveler. Tá, o broche do médico.
Hey, you're back. What can I do to help?
Você não vende nada.
You know where to find me.
Só tem essas 3 classes aqui, Dutra? Médico... Acho que outro é tanque, né? E
What can I do for you?
Cadê? Gostaria de melhorar meu equipamento. Conversaria com você mais tarde. Quero, na real.
You know where to find me.
What is it now?
Desenvolvimento tambor de revólver.
All right, let's see what you've got.
Tambor de revólver? Ah, pro Gunslinger, né? Espada bonita. Divisor de Deus, arma corpo a corpo. Ataques carregados contaminam o sangue dos alvos, fazendo com que todos os ataques do Divisor de Deus seja recebido como um acerto de ponto fraco por 2 segundos. Nice! Parece uma espada bonitona. Empunhadura fundida. Mas tem que esgotar a história que ele conta. Putz, agora eu tô na dúvida se eu acho que eu vou fazer isso. Deixa eu escutar toda a história dele. Porque eu quero fazer um bagulho mais focado em dano.
Back again, huh? Here to chat, I hope. Careful now. My answers are known to lead to more questions. You'll like this one. So, I got separated from the Crazy Eight, my gang.
The Crazy Eight.
We've been chased by this big old deadwood, taller than a man with 10 times as many pointy bits. Whew, nasty fellers. The others, they holed up in this old scrap building and slammed the door. Left me for dead. There was no way in, but there were these old pipes underground. Sewage, judging by the stink. But I weren't gonna stay out there with Deadwood creeping round, so I held my breath and crawled
Deve ter umas 20 histórias, vamos escutar todas.
half a mile. I come busting out of the pipe.
Eu tinha escutado umas, deve ter umas 15 só.
Of the Crazy Eight. They were holding me a funeral. I stand up, covered in mud and God knows what else, and just smile at them. And that, friend, is where I got the name Mudtooth.
É muito da hora que tipo, ele tem um monte de história que ele fala, foi aí que me chamaram de dente sujo. E tipo, você fala...
Don't think I told you this one yet. You want to know the truth about young Bo over there? To start off with, the boy ain't all that young. I mean, sure, he ain't nothing to old Mudtooth, but ain't a lot of folks around who remember him as a boy no more. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you. That boy made a deal with the... Oh, yeah. I'm getting to it. Why is that?
Guarda.
Well, I'll tell you. Bo Ward, he made a deal with the Wanderer. Don't believe me? It was Bo who met the Wanderer at old Ward 10 and 3. And it was Bo who took him over to that Ward goose egg, the one where the root started. And he won't admit it, but it was Bo what rescued Clementine and shut the door on the dead wood for good. The boy's more than he tells, and a good deal more than he knows. Why else would folks around here put him in charge of everything? Ho, 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 ho! Here's a good one. This city ain't without its own tales. Why, there's a tower, see? What only appears once in a gibbous August moon. Kinda looks like a big yellow-orange pumpkin. And within that tower is a man. Except he's not a man. He's a wizard, see? He calls himself the Keeper, and he controls everything. I've seen him myself. Even talked to him once. Man's smart as hell. So smart, even I can't keep up with him. He says he watches over all of us. But if that's the case, then he ain't been doing such a good job. I mean, look around you. But I reckon he means well. And that tower, I think, is like a spaceship he uses to teleportate to other planets. You go walk the city in a harvest pumpkin moon. You'll see what I mean. Don't think I told you this one yet. I ever tell you about the time I killed 300 deadwood in one go? Whoo, that's a tale. So, I lived up in this old, Helio-Chapataka whatchahoozits, great sniper's nest. Let me pop off deadwood from a mile away. But one night, I wake up to a rustling and a howling, right? I look outside, and there's deadwood all around the place. Hundreds of them. But they don't stop coming. And I'm thinking, this is finally it. But then, I see tucked away behind an old building the cracked open end of an old gas main. So, I squint my good eye and pray to Kennedy, Jeebus, and Cash. And I squeeze the trigger, and my bullet flies through the air like a hawk to a coney. Caw-caw! It scrapes the pipe, and boom! Whole damn horde goes up in flames. Not a single one of them left. Deadwood never did bother me after that. Don't think I told you this one yet. Back when the earth fell, a dragon, a real root dragon, took up residence over there, just like in old fairy tales. It started in them wards, see? Your eyes only hush-hush military conspiracizing farms and whatnot. That's where they made all their weapons and did experiments. And just like those tales, it took a what now? It took a night to slay this dragon. Oh, but the dragon was crafty, all right. He knew the knight needed help, so the dragon gave it to him. Yep, the dragon took the form of a talking tree and told the knight if they wanted to slay that dragon, they'd have to slay all these other beasts first.
Que maneiro. Esse daqui é a história do chronosbeforetheashes.
What do you call them? Golem. Well,
É a história do... Como que ele sabe essa história?
But the thing was, these beasts weren't protecting the dragon. They were holding him back. So when the dragon finally did reveal itself, it was too strong for the knight. And it took him, body and mind, and made their strength its own.
Você pode me contar a tua história? Maneiro, aquele ali foi resumo do chronosbeforetheashes.
Let me see here. Ho! I ever tell you the secret behind my stew? Well, I ain't gonna. But I will tell you how it came to be, yeah? The original recipe comes from my ma, of course. But that ain't the end of the story. My ma made a fine stew. But it weren't nothing to go tell tales about. Not until the day me and the Crazy Eight got ourselves trapped in one of them old, medieval, meditating,
Lá vamos nós.
My mom made a fine stew, but it weren't nothing to tell tales about. Not until the day me and the Crazy Eight got ourselves trapped in one of them old, medieval, meditating, We was trapped in one of them medicinal compounds, full of pharmaceuticals and whatever you call them. And I had nothing but a dead coney and an onion on my belt, which weren't good for much, but were the style at the time. So, we scrounged for ingredients. Well, them hospitalities ain't no good for food, but they do have some pretty mean spices lying around if you know what you're doing. Which I do. That night was the best stew any of us ever had in our lives. Kept us going for days, till finally the dead wood outside got bored and took off. And that, friend, is the same stew I make today. I even use the same ingredients as them back in the day medicinals. Better even. Don't think I told you this one yet. Long time ago, when I was just 10 years old or so, I moved to a place called Sanctuary. Sanctuary was true to its name. It was a place where folks came to be free from the dead wood, to protect each other. A lot like this place. Boy,
Tem um bagulho que eu sempre esqueço, que eu falo assim, mas não faz sentido. Aí depois eu lembro, putz, o Forte tem mais de 1000 anos.
And roads filled with fruit trees. But Sanctuary had this one thing I ain't never seen since. They called them movers, and I can still see them in my mind. See, they'd hook up this battery, right? Only it weren't storing power, but stories. They'd hook it up to a wheel and a light, and bam! Whole worlds just show up on the wall. Talking rabbits and stuttering pigs and this one real surly duck. Maybe it's something like Ford's old crystals. Except you couldn't walk into the movers. Believe me, I tried. Nah, they just played for you, sound and all. Transporting you to another place. Maybe that's where I got my love of stories, huh? Never really thought about it till now. Here's a good one. So I was on a scrounge with the Crazy Eight. We came across this old hospital, see? Folks were holed up in the basement, trapped there. But the Root had found those folks same time we did. Now the Crazy Eight.
Espera aí, eu vou cortar porque essa daqui eu já escutei.
But not me.
Que ele fala que mordeu o negócio aí ganhou.
There you go. Mudtooth. Name stuck it. Oh, here's a good one. You've been introduced to that girl Clementine. Powerful woman she is, but she weren't always so. She's near as old as Ford is, if you can believe it. Even older than my old bones, how about it? Those two have a lot in common, including traveling to other worlds. You see, she was born on Earth, but Clementine spent 100 years on a snow world called Resome. They call it that on account of some you read and some you don't. Anyway, what was she doing all that time? Training. See, Resome's full of giant talking rats. You got warrior rats and midwife rats and even mystic rats. Clementine, she learned under the tutelage of a two-headed mystic named Sebum. Taught her everything she knows. She don't talk about it, of course, on account of Sebum's a wanted man. Rat, I guess. But it's God's own truth. I met the man myself, rat.
Okay.
Here's a good one. I ever tell you about the Shrouded King? No, it ain't a book. It's real, I tell you. He's the king of another world.
Essa daqui também se conta, ele tá falando lá do Jerome.
But this king, he got hit.
A Steam caiu aí também? Aqui não, aqui tá de boas. Deixa eu dar uma olhada pra ver se... Aqui tá tranquilo, eu acho que foi aí mesmo, Thales. Guarda dentro do estúdio.
Oh, the Shrouded King. He got his people together to draw as much power as he could from... As soon as the Root showed up, he fired them.
Clica nos amigos da Steam.
He knew what was about to happen, but he didn't tell nobody. That weapon weren't just gonna scorch the Root. No.
É, eu acho que caiu sim. Deu uma caidinha. Caiu de todo mundo? Do terceiro você também tem? Você pode me contar outra história?
Let me see here.
Caiu,
You met
caiu.
old Wally yet? The boy ain't right, but not in a mudder way. He just... I reckon I know why, too.
É outra fala que eu já tinha conversado também. Valeu, eu fiquei preocupado aqui. Deve ser normal. A gente tava com instabilidade esses dias também.
You wouldn't be the first, but it's true. That boy Wally was born under a blood moon. Always strange, they say. Harbinger of changification.
Mas é bom que eu já corro pra reiniciar ela, senão o save não vai ficar atualizado lá na nuvem.
That ain't natural. Like the squall of some blackbird. Caw! Oh, don't tell him I said it. He wouldn't believe it anyway. This one's 100% true.
Deve ser a última
Let me tell you
história.
what those folks are up to in that atoll. That Ward 10 and 7. That was where they did their experimenting, see? They made weapons for the USA. That's what this land was called back then. And the root, you see, they were cloned. Yes, sir. They found root D and A trapped in red amber, and they done built themselves an army. But this army, it got out of hand and turned against them. Couldn't tell the difference between the Usanayans and whatever else there was. Pretty good weapon if you ask me. Nigh on slaughter the whole damn world. Makes you think, though. What else were them Usanayans capable of? Maybe it's for the best they ain't around no more. Let me see here. Ho! I've been telling tales about the Ford family for years. I tell you, nothing about them like old Commander Ford, one who used to run this here. They say he's dead and buried, but they don't know the truth of it. See, the old Commander were the youngest, but she ain't the last. Crazy old man.
Daqui eu vou cortar, tá, gente? Ele vai ficar falando da família do Ford. Você pode me contar isso?
Don't think I told you this one. I ever tell you how the world fell in the first place? Well, sit down, friend, 'cause there ain't no one knows what really happened but me. It started in them wards, see? Secret military industrial complexes and whatnot. Now, the root weren't meant to reproduce, see? They was built as a weapon, but then they done breeded and got out. Well, we all know what happened after that. Only reason the root stopped was 'cause the Wanderer, well, he flamethrower-sized their queen, see? Over in that tower on the atoll. So now, listen. You might hear Ford tell you something different, but you look at the two of us and ask which has obviously been around longer. Which of us is most like to have been there, huh? You ask yourself that, and then you just look my way, 'cause that's who it is. This is 100% true. Did I tell you I once sailed across that ocean to that old... It was after that Wanderer came through here and cleared out the storm. Old Mudtooth's crazy, you know, but I tell you, I saw things down there. Yeah, I'm getting to it. I tell you, I saw things down there that you ain't never seen in your life. Down there in that rusted place was just machinery and roots twisting every which way, like the root themselves had built it. But they didn't. No, that old place was called Ward 10 and 7. You can see it plastered all over, and it was built by humans. By the folks Ford himself used to serve, if you can believe that. Oh, he'll deny it, I'm sure. But all them electronicals they got down there are the same damn things you'll find in old Ward 10 and 3. That place, what were they up to down there? Now, that's the question. I heard some answers myself, but I don't know if I believe them. There's a story.
E aí sim, salve, mano. Como você tá, meu querido?
Here, right, good listen, Tater friend. Tell you what, though, I'm a little light
Rapaz, aí
on the
sim, mano.
stories right now, but
Sofrendo pra farmar nesse jogo aí.
yourself some company. I got
Já zerou e tá
just
fazendo
the
outras
cure
builds?
for that. And I ain't talking about my stew this time. Take this and check back with me later. I'm sure I'll have some newly remembered stories for you then.
Anel do pistoleiro. Ok.
I can tell you right now, you won't be disappointed, Mutated.
Era o anel do pistoleiro?
Take
Não,
care,
não.
young'un. Don't be a stranger. Howdy, what you need? Oh, ho, ho. You came to the right place, traveler. You won't
Ainda não, tô indo pro final do jogo. Eu só tô liberando uma outra classe pra ficar com a subclasse, no caso.
He's a handful.
Aí eu já vou zerar.
Always has been. Got into a scrap. Well, that boy's pa didn't take it none too. That boy's pa wanted to take some skin out of me for it. Now, I ain't proud of what I did next, but oh, who am I kidding? I wouldn't be telling you if I weren't proud, now would I? But like I taught Brabus, say as I do as I say. And anyways, I couldn't back down from a fight. Not in front of the crazy eight. Come to think of it, that's probably how Brabus got the way he is. Anyway, I fight the man. He could have crushed my head between market and roast beef, but I aim to win, not fight fair. I pointed at nothing at all behind him, then smooshed a scoop of mud straight into him. Then, while he was a-spitting and a-sputtering, I hit him hard. So hard that when he fell, my muddy hand came away with 3 of his teeth in it. And that, friend, is a true story.
E você sim, já zerou já?
I got the name Mudtooth. Don't think I told you this one yet. It's about the time my own damn son left me to die. Oh, don't worry, I'm still here, ain't I? Or he went to get some grub for us. We was on our way from the city to our new home in the ward here. I was attacked. 20, no, 50 deadwood come crashing through the trees. We thought they was all dead and gone. Now, I may be an old mudder, but I ain't no pushover. I blasted them down, left and right, laughing all the time. I was winning until something snuck up on me and concustipated me upside the head. I don't mind telling you, I thought I was done for. Then a growling starts. Deadwood back off, and I look up to see a dog there tearing them apart, literal limb from non-metaphorical limb. We fought the rest off together, that dog and I thought to myself, now there's a mudder what's got some teeth. Turns out he just wanted some of my stew. You won't believe. I do miss the days when you could find the stuff the old world used to make. Canned foods. Oh, found this old can of what's it once. As in, we literally did not know what was in it. Finding that was like all our birthdays at the same time. That can must have been 100 years old, banged up and bloated. Could have been anything in there. So, my boys did what any good family would do. They dared me to drink it. Well, I ain't one to back down from something stupid. So, of course I'm awake. Well, I ain't one to back down from something stupid. So, I grabbed the can and said something sensually flattering about their mamas. Then, I popped the top. Woohoo! Damn stuff hissed and fizzled like some kind of brown I chugged the whole damn thing. The thick goop tasted like scented sewer water. Burned my brain like a chili pepper. I nearly puked with each swallow, but we're gonna give them the satisfaction. When I threw the can aside, the boys cheered. I opened my mouth, flashed them a smug smile, and my teeth was all stained the darkest mud brown you ever seen. They stayed that way for at least a month. And that's where I got my name.
Essa eu acho que é a série original.
Let me see. Ain't no one on this planet more beautiful or dangerous than the Moth Queen.
Oh.
She rules an old swamp about 100 miles off in, that direction. Folks say if you climb one of these here towers on a clear night, you can see the swamp lights a-flashing. But them ain't no ordinary swamp lights. And she ain't no ordinary queen. She don't lead her people, who really ain't even people, come to think of it. Anyways, the Moth Queen draws her folk to her like a... well, like a moth, I guess. That's how the saying goes. Anyway, she captures folks with her beauty and her mothy pulchritude. And she never lets them go. She infects their mind so they never want to leave. And she turns them into something else. If you head off that way, keep your wits about you. 'Cause that swamp used to be a city as big as this'n. But no more. No more.
Ó, então dá... Isso pode dar uma dica que o primeiro DLC pode ser lá no pântano. E que a gente... O canônico foi que a gente matou o guardião e deu o coração pra ela. Você pode contar a outra história?
Let me see. So this wanderer comes up to visit me at my heliocopter, right? They're decked out with guns. I'm thinking they'll get tired, wander
Que
off
maneiro.
and take my story somewhere else like all the rest. But they don't. They listen to all of it. And I think to myself, this mudder actually wants to hear these. Reminds me of my ma, tell you the truth, the way I'd listen to her. And the way my boy Brabus used to listen to me. Before he turned away, that wanderer reminded me of family. And that's the most important thing, ain't it? So I figured I ain't left long for this world. So I give 'em my wife's old watch in thanks. Ain't too long after that, my boy Brabus comes back in person, first time in years, with a
A missão cano aí, você entregou o relógio pro moleque.
pocket. I knew a good thing when I saw it. I didn't say nothing. Just welcomed the boy back like nothing had changed. Family's the most important thing we got in this world, young'un. Don't forget that. Stop me if I told you this one already. You heard about the old wards, right? Hell, you should have. You're on top of the wards, where the root were born. And that's where was Leto was his name. He says,
ele falou no começo do jogo, né, jogo?
He says, blow that sucker, and boy.
Eu acho que já foi todas as histórias.
It's a mind tasty, I tell you what. I'll be seeing you then.
Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui. Ups. Mas ele deu um anel do pistoleiro. Cadê o anel? Aumenta a velocidade de troca de arma e fogo em 30% de velocidade. Aqui e na recarga. Ah, tem que escutar todas as histórias dele, né, Dutra? Até ele começar a vender o bagulho, né? Não, eu tô falando. Eu escutei todas no meu mundo. Todas não, ele já tá repetindo algumas, por isso que eu tô falando.
Welcome back, traveler.
O jogo atualizou 2 vezes, porque tava bugado. Então eu tô achando que algumas coisas resetaram, entendeu? Que nem quando eu falei com a Clementine ali naquela hora do portal, ela repetiu abriu algumas opções que eu já tinha falado com ela.
Oh, here's a good one. There's an old man what lives at the center of a maze. Or does he live at the gate to the maze? I don't matter. This old man sees everything. And I don't mean like he can see whatever he wants when he wants. I mean, he sees everything all at once. That ain't all. The old man in... Hey, that ain't all. The old man in the maze is a maker. The maze, see, is like a spider web full of doors, stretching its threads every which way. And he don't just watch. He makes. Where there ain't a door, he makes one. And then he makes what's on the other side of it. Oh, I can see on your face you ain't buying it. But I tell you, this Earth of ours is just one door in a dozen hundred. And if in this maze watcher decides he wants someplace to end, all he got to do is snap a thread and poof, no more door, no more world. This one's, you ever wonder what the world was like before the Deadwood came? Well, the world was filled with people. I'm talking millions, maybe even bazillions.
Bazillions!
Why, you couldn't sneeze without snotting someone in the face. Now, these folks weren't like us nowadays. They had so much food that they would eat for fun. They'd get together to eat the extra meat. They had spare ribs, called it a barbecue. They were immune to all kinds of diseases. And every one of them, every one, had a puppy. Huh. And the world was run by, let's see here, what was it now? A presidentures, yeah.
Presidente.
On account of the
A galera da tradução mandou
whole
bem, vai.
damn world was ruled by the presidentures of the United States. Yes, sir. It was a better time then. Folks resolved their differences by coming together, listening to each other's problems. Oh, I guess that's what young Bo's trying to do with this place, ain't he? He ain't done half bad so far. I reckon you gotta go through the bad to get to the good again. It's always there waiting if you just keep on looking. I reckon you're the best listener I've done had in years. Heck, you devoured up all my stories like most folks lap up my stew. I do believe I'm all out of stories. But tell you what, as a bit of a constellation prize, take this. I'm guessing that'll be a mite bit more useful to you than it is to me. Tell you what, I might be out of stories, but I ain't out of stew.
A risada de velho dele é muito
long
boa.
as you head back then, eh?
Beleza. É verdade, ele deu o talismã do pistoleiro. Deixa eu ver o que ele faz. Aumenta a cadência de tiros.
The traveler returns. I knew you'd say that.
Cristal de luminita. Caralho, ficou faltando um cristal de luminita. Será que ela vem ali mais? Ai, vai ter que enfrentar um inimigo random em algum mundo só pra pegar um fucking cristal de luminita. Bora lá. Bora em qualquer lugar, mas onde que eu sei que normalmente costuma aparecer inimigo em Lonesome. A gente vai lá pra... aqui. Vamos matar alguns NPCs. Quando der aquele som de ordem, a gente enfrenta o inimigo especial. Ele já dá pra gente, a gente libera a classe. Cadê? Nós viemos em paz. Atire para matar, Totó. Ai, cachorro. Cachorro porco. Você tem sorte, minha mira é horrível. Caraca, nada? Meu filho, parece aí. Boa noite. Gas King, boa noite, como você tá? Que choro. Preciso de um. A gente pode fazer o rato matar. Já fez Nerude? Já fiz de Nerude já. Tô indo já pro final do jogo, eu só tô voltando pra pegar uma subclasse só, basicamente. Não consigo teleportar pros mapas de Nerude depois que zerei o mapa, tá certo? Tá sim, depende... Assim, eu tenho uma teoria, porque é o seguinte. Você lutou contra aquele boss que ele tem uma esfera na mão, certo? O que ele tá segurando é uma singularidade, eu acho que... Se você atira nele... Se você atira na esfera, ela quebra e abre um buraco negro. Nerude vai pro caralho. Eu até tava esperando, não sei se o Mazaya já fez... Mas eu tenho uma teoria que tem como... Aí, ó. Você pode lutar em Nerude de duas formas. Você atira na esfera e o monstro morre. Ou você mata só atirando na mão dele. Das mãos, né? E aí você não mata. Você não... Aí, ó. Esse daí que a gente quer. Vamos testar essa... Você não me deu o negócio? Ah. Ele não me deu o negócio? Really? Quer pegar aqui... Eu peguei o Gunslinger, eu não vi nenhuma das secretas ainda. Eu sei aonde libera algumas secretas, mas eu vou dar uma olhada. Eu só vou pegar só pra dar uma... Só pra ver o que ela pode complementar na minha principal. Aí, Gaskin, o que eu tô chutando, eu não sei porque eu não fui olhar no wiki pra ver se dá pra fazer. Eu acho que você derrota o boss de Nerude sem destruir a bola, você não explode o buraco negro. Porque quando você destrói, eu acho que até você escutou, né? O NPC, ele dá um gritão, ele fala: o que você fez? Tá ligado? E você é sugado, você abre um buraco negro, por isso você não pode voltar pra Nerude. Ou seja, você vai conseguir voltar ali no save de um coleguinha ou zerando. Vamos matar o outro especial pra ver se vai vir agora. Peraí. Deles. Cadê esse pessoal? Tá, pega lá onde? Pega. Caraca, que dano, mano. pode abrir uma aventura também. Ah, mas aí, assim, aí sou eu, né? Eu sou muito na vibe do... Porra, mano, tu já vai... Faz a aventura do zero, porque você pode ver outro cenário, sabe? Sucata. Cara, não tá dando a porcaria do que eu tô precisando. Eu preciso de um simulacro. Preciso só de mais um. Simulacro não, um cristal de luminita. Só preciso de mais um. Inferno. É bom que quem estiver vendo pelo YouTube quando eu passar vai estar editado. Aí você vai cortar só pra parte que eu já tô com som. Tem que ser no modo aventura. É, assim, eu zeraria o jogo se você não zerou ainda. Zero o jogo normal mesmo. Pera aí, deixa eu fazer uma build aqui, que tem umas builds de... Já ver outro. Vamos ver se tem sorte. E depois começaria de novo, que nem o meu de Oesha foi uma história muito boa. Só que eu quero ver eu quero refazer pra ver a história da rainha, sabe? Vamos lá pegar. Pera aí, vamos matar primeiro o bicho. Cadê o bicho especial? Ou ele tá lutando com algum outro... Tem uma side ainda pra fazer aqui. Oh, raiva, cara. Cadê? Aumenta a coleta de sucata, não. Aumenta a velocidade. Concede vida. Não. Não aumenta. Com certeza tem um mod ou um anel pra isso. Aumenta a duração de todos os efeitos. Não, aumenta. Aumenta todos os efeitos elemental. Atributos, não. Tem um que aumenta a chance de drop de item. Eu tô confundindo com o do 1. Eu tô confundindo. Aqui, maluco. Acho que não, tô maluco. Lá tem um anel que faz esquema pra cair mais luminita e... Tem que esperar outro bicho especial. E ver se aparece aqui. Eu preciso de uma só. Uma fucking só. É isso, é minha vida. Eu só preciso de um negocinho. E não veio o negocinho. Dá pra gente forçar aqui no rato, né? Se não me engano, quando ele mata a gente já nasce em outro lugar, não é isso? Cadê onde tem um esgoto? Meu Deus. Ah, não vou matar o bichinho, tadinho. Cadê? Tinha um... Por aqui. Maluco. Ah, cadê o relógio? Me perdi. Cadê? Tinha uma... Por aqui, ó. Um dinheirinho na frente pra... Cachorro poico de boa. Ali. Lá. Experiências traumáticas. É. Eu não quero ir passar de quest agora, velho. Pior que cristal de luminita não se vende, né? Você tem que matar inimigo e pegar, né? Inferno. Você assim, você tá farmando o quê? Vamos ver se aparece um inimigo forte aqui. A gente já volta e depois eu faço essa quest. Ah, a mesma...
What's that smell?
A mesma quest que eu fiz com o Mazaya. Vou rushar só pra ver se aparece um inimigo especial, gente. Pensei que na hora que você ativa uma das alavancas, aparece um inimigo especial.
Nothing left.
Modo speedrunner, né, aqui. Isso é né, quando você morre pro rato, né? De forma. Parece que ele devorou uma quantidade deveras considerável de pessoas. Não, acho que não é o mesmo não. Não tem inimigo. Quando eu tava com o Mazé, tinha inimigo a dar com pau aqui nessa parte. Que seja aqui, tô maluco. É aqui mesmo. Deixa eu...
Stand together and fight!
Foco. Oxi. Ok. Uma parede invisível na escada. Dá a volta. Primeira alavanca que a gente precisa. Tirando que aqui embaixo tem aquela coisa que é tipo uma borboleta, né? Anel robusto, ok. Uma fadinha.
This is it.
Né, escala online. Tá. Voltando pra... minha... Tá. Não vai ser nada. Eu só quero encontrar a porcaria do negócio. Ah, você aí. Tá, tinha um rato aqui. Tinha outro ninho também. Será que se eu atirasse no meio ia aparecer outro rato? Ah, mano, só quero um bicho forte. Ah. Aí. Queria que o Illuminate. Agora tanto faz, depois a gente volta, a gente faz essa quest aqui, eu faço com calma, a gente vai, mata os ratos, mas o que a gente queria a gente pegou. Eu nem falei com o prisioneiro ali, tá, gente? Todas as culpas são, é verdade. Tem 4, acho. Foram 2, né? Teve um que não tinha bicho em volta, deve ter algum esqueminha, acho que talvez era pra tirar no meio. Depois eu faço isso. E o último tinha uma parte lá do cenário também que eu não tinha ido. Onde eu tô?
Traveler. They don't like it when I help you, but it is the role I must play.
Cilindro de ferro. Embora tenha passado por dias melhores, sua funcionalidade permanece intacta, o que torna esse sistema uma ferramenta confiável e útil nas mãos certas.
Goodbye, Traveler.
Arquetipo do pistoleiro. Agora eu posso usar os dois. Pera aí. Eu posso colocar o do domador. Ah, não. Aqui é o que eu tenho vinculado. Domador. Alô, voltei. Já tá terminando. Terminando o jogo, mas não terminando a live. Mas aí eu vou... Acabei de pegar a subclasse só pra ver como ficava. Deixa eu ver. Pistoleiro. Arquetipo secundário. Cilindro. Reserva de munição. Aumenta a reserva de munição em 5%. Características, ok. Saque rápido de perícia. Ok. Ah, e agora eu tenho 2 poderzinhos. Nice, Soru. Que massa. Que massa. Então beleza, agora a gente Quer que eu enche o show? Eu queria jogar contigo. Não, vamos jogar sim. Eu só me dá um tempo só pra ir no banheiro rapidinho. E eu já volto aqui.